Another one-sided contest, though Sri Lanka did provide us with some sort of entertainment right at the death. But the margin still 102 runs. But who would have imagined a team that bats second, gets more than 300 runs while chasing, and yet loses a match by 102 runs. So that's a rarity that we got to witness today. But overall, what a game for South Africa. I think multiple records created today. Fastest ever 100 in a World Cup.
49 balls.
deliveries for Markram. Also the highest team total in the history of World Cups.
Yes.
428. The second thing that really stands out. And
3 centurions in an innings.
That's
the
never
first time.
Yes.
In a World Cup, yes.
Never happened.
Also the highest total ever seen at the erstwhile Firozshah Kotla and presently known as the Arun Jaitley Stadium.
That was going to be my question as soon as my mic starts working.
Is it actually working?
Better? My question is this the Firozshah Kotla?
No, this is the Arun Jaitley Stadium.
It is.
I'll
Tell you what the change is. The stadium's gotten a facelift, so maybe the pitch as well.
No more Pan Bahar.
I don't know why, but it just seems like the pitches that we expected to be spin tracks are flatter, and the ones that we expected to be flat are spinning.
So Delhi, you expected a spin-friendly track.
Yeah. Hyderabad, we expected a flat deck, but it wasn't as much.
It was
even Ahmedabad. So it's like ulta.
Ahmedabad was a good pitch, no?
Ahmedabad always a good pitch. Ahmedabad only spins heavy and tests. For white ball,
even Butler admitted that even 330 probably wouldn't have been a good enough score, and that's what they were thinking at the toss. And the way, of course, New Zealand batted.
Hyderabad, I think.
Hyderabad has played along expected lines. It's always been
And also Ahmedabad, he says it. I mean, he's right when you're saying test matches, but if you look at it, the last test match that was played was also a flat track.
Was exactly like the white ball track in essence.
So Ahmedabad, you're going to get a track which is going to be very good for batting, as we have already seen. Courtesy Conway and Rachin Ravindra both made merry. In fact, that this record of 428 could have been under threat, or this record wouldn't have been a record had they carried on. And there was if they were batting first in that same fashion.
Partners were 255?
Yeah. I mean, let's say if they were batting first with that similar scenario, they would have got something like that. What that tells me that in already, how many? 4 games have we had in total?
Yes.
4 games. 4. In 4 games, you almost have had, as I said, that New Zealand game, because it did not finish, but was definitely going 400 plus. So in 4 games, if you had 400 plus scored twice almost, considering that, what that is telling me that if you are thinking this is going to be a 300 World Cup, it could be much more than that. And my only suggestion now to teams which are so used to getting 280, 290, pack your bags, go home.
Or go big.
They're not going to go big. They can't go big.
Exactly. How do you suddenly? It's not like a switch now. You turn it on. Okay, my capability was. But upping your game
takes time. It's a process.
Exact process. It is a process. Can't be done overnight. Right?
I mean, even when England went for that radical change, they had to drop certain players. They had to get rid of certain players, bring in players who are known to play that style, and then back them. And took them 4 years to actually solidify it.
Yeah, and I think it's more than the players, it's the confidence that you need to give them to be batting like that. And that won't happen overnight, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like Afghanistan will suddenly, after scoring 200, 220, 240, be like, no, we'll score 350.
So the teams that I'm worried about, because assuming this happens to be a 350, 60, 400 sort of a World Cup, I agree there will be a few low scoring games as well, especially Dharamshala. I believe teams are not very happy with the conditions on offer in Dharamshala, especially the outfield, because if you remember there were concerns about Dharamshala's outfield in that test match.
That
you changed it.
Indoor.
Yeah, you changed that. And then after that, the ICC team, I remember there was a report when they went before the matches were to start, and they weren't very happy with the outfield. So what they've done is now sort of a jugaad where, because if it's something not great, you start putting sand and like of course there's grass, but there's sand below it just to cover up those areas which may not be great. But that also actually creates a lot of trouble, because that's the one where if you're actually sliding or something, you get stuck.
Exactly.
And you can get injured. So I believe that the teams that played there aren't very happy with the conditions on offer. And so that will be one ground we may not get very high scoring games. Possibly Hyderabad could be that place. We don't know. I mean, since it was helping spin bowlers. Lucknow, we don't know whether if it's a turning track. It was during the IPL, but they've relayed it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, or not even hoping, I'm pretty much a sure shot thing that they would have tried to have made a batting pitch now.
Hardik complain about it.
Yeah, so it would be big. I mean, whether they're successful or not is another thing, but they were attempted to have made a batting track in Lucknow for sure. So if that is the case, majority of the grounds you're going to have that. So the teams I'm really worried about is Pakistan, not the very high scoring. They play like 280, 290 type cricket, some days 100, 300, but always hope that their bowlers will do the job for them. So that Bangladesh could be the other team, not always going to get you big totals. Low scoring games they can fancy themselves, they can win. Afghanistan, low scoring totals they can win if the spinners come to the party, but can they always score those high? No. So maybe Netherlands, I don't know, wouldn't be a very high scoring team.
Partly Sri Lanka also.
Not partly, definitely.
Sri Lanka.
They showed great spirit today.
Of course, but they were batting. It was a lost cause a long time back.
I agree, but all I'm saying is that let's say today, if you look at the Sri Lankan batting card, if Shivam shows us, see they didn't have a great start, right? So I'm saying, assuming a day Kushal Perera has his day, okay, and then maybe Sadira who had a good Asia Cup, and so I'm saying, let's say 100 or 200 there start. Can this team get you 380, 390? They can possibly.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, like today, without a great start, they've taken you 326.
Yeah, that was 350, 360 you can expect.
Yeah, this is a team that can, on an occasion, that can. And another thing, they bat deep. You forget about Sri Lanka, the fact that they bat deep.
Yeah, Rajitha today, we didn't see the side of him in the whole of Asia Cup. What was he?
Did you see that 6?
Oh, that
Jansen.
almost a no-look 6.
Yeah, it was outrageous shot.
Earlier I thought he was trying to just fend the ball.
He wasn't.
Ended up whacking it with a no-look thing at the end of it.
That was like a killer blow, like hitting with disdain, like
I was just
slapping
thinking,
it.
The moment that ball made contact with the bat, I was sure it's the Pirosha code. It's a 6. Just thinking whether at the G or maybe at Adelaide also it would have been a 6.
If it wasn't a 6, it's just it was outrageous, right? The way
contact was amazing.
It was a Chenkuli ki Menkuli wala.
What is that? It's a movie, na?
So every time he wants to hit a shot, he just, because he has a magical bat, he says Chenkuli ki Menkuli before hitting the ball and then whacks it.
He also says something before chanting that little thing.
What?
He would say, Kapil Paji.
Oh, yeah.
Menkuli ki Menkuli. No look shot had come
That's
long
it.
time
He closes his eyes and then says Chenkuli ki Menkuli and
That's probably what he was doing.
single-handed sixes and whatnot.
It's on occasion like this that I miss Siddharth, who would have 100%.
Got this reference?
100.
Oh, 200.
10,000% would have known all films and.
it's a great movie by the way.
Is it?
Yeah?
I'm surprised you've seen it.
Why?
Well, I thought this was my era, like Shane's era.
तो era क्या है?
But this was never a super hit or something that
It
sort
was. What are you saying?
No, it was a sleeper classic. It's sleeper hit at best, not a super hit. No.
You're a cricketer, no? That's why you like it.
Super hit to no way.
I haven't
I
seen
was
it.
a child.
With an inclination towards cricket, no?
I know, but it was a hit among everyone that I knew my age.
Which would also have been cricketers.
No.
No.
Not
back
necessarily.
then.
I have
I
other
wasn't-
friends. I should be.
Oh, kind.
Very mindful.
It'll move and things can happen.
You're not giving
There's
the
a
ball,
there's a
huh?
footrest there. Please use it.
You're not giving the ball, so
Yes,
I'm going to find
okay.
other ways
Yeah, don't be
creating
restless.
trouble.
Enjoy the discussion. Don't break anything apart from your body, which you do quite often. But
He doesn't try.
no, he doesn't try. That's what I'm saying.
85%.
No, here also he's not trying. It'll happen.
It'll just happen.
I just want him to be away from that. The chair breaks is another thing. So yeah, I'm actually beginning to worry for teams that don't get big totals, because it does seem like it's going to be a high-scoring World Cup, and I think you'll get a glimpse of that in tomorrow's game as well. India versus Australia, it'll be a big total game.
How do we all
You
feel about
need
it?
it.
No, I'm confident that India can chase down. setting is a different.
Okay, let's say India aren't winning the toss. India have been asked to bat first.
It's a disadvantage. It is because again, I normally don't back Sri Lanka to be making 300, but they did have good batting conditions, aided, by the way, I must add, by some horrible fielding by South Africa.
Yeah.
How many catches dropped?
And when do you associate horrible fielding with South Africa?
Exactly.
Like you can say that they choked and their batting collapsed and various other things.
The green jersey effect.
I mean,
No, but they've always won green.
yeah, and
I don't know.
and if you're talking about fielding, then
They would have always had bad fielding.
no, and Jaunty Rhodes.
I know her reference.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it's not that they've now turned on to the green jersey and suddenly because of that they've had.
There was a good catch as well that Marco Jansen
Marco
took.
Jansen
Yeah,
catch.
that was a good
Incredible.
catch. But after that, the standards just dropped.
Feklupayo in particular, he was having a mare. Even Temba for that matter, he dropped one catch.
And
then
he's a good fielder.
Temba's a good fielder. That's what makes us surprised. He dropped one catch, then next minute he's misfielding a dolly and having to chase.
I'm surprised you got Temba right this time.
It was a big effort.
It's like all the team's catching effort went into just one catch.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay,
it.
does has South Africa sent alarm bells ringing? Is it?
I think
With
they
them.
Yeah, but I think we always had this faith in their batting. The batting is good. I mean, let's not forget, today they've wreaked this much havoc without Heinrich Klaassen playing.
I agree, but all I'm saying is that they've always had potential, right?
Yeah.
That potential last World Cup also.
And
they did not.
2022 as well.
And I'll tell you what, even I thought that if you remember the initial 4 that I picked before New Zealand like really impressed me in the warm-up, so I pushed South Africa out and got New Zealand in. But the point is there was always one doubt with South Africa, that you look at the batting lineup is great, but you remember these are the same batters who pretty much made the Sunrisers Hyderabad squad, and all of them did not come to the party. So the question mark was, and even if you look at Miller, who's good, so I'll take like Markram was there, Klaassen was there, Marco Jansen was there, all of them with Sunrisers. Okay, didn't have a great time, like inconsistent, right?
I'll add to that. Temba, I think if I'm not wrong, played for Sunrisers Eastern Cape in
Yeah. No, but I'm saying playing in Indian conditions, right? So the question mark, because you're saying that South Africa, we always felt, I kind of disagree, because you always had a doubt, like you looked at the batting lineup and said great, but you had doubt over South Africa doing well in Indian conditions, especially when you look at the IPL. So you had the Markram, you had the Klaassen, you had the Marco Jansen in Sunrisers Hyderabad, all hit and a miss sort of a season they had. Quinton de Kock, not a great IPL season. I mean, some days he's been good. Mumbai Indians, he was good. Lucknow, not so good, right? They were in fact talks that you shouldn't have got him in, and that's the selection dilemma that they had. They could have Mayers as well. I think at one point it was Mayers who was doing well, and they said, why have you taken him out and just got Quinton? So you reached a level where you were comparing Mayers with Quinton. So again, not a great time. Look at Miller, he had a great season when they won the IPL, not so great last time around, and then we knew earlier also with like Punjab Kings he would have a hit and a miss season. So you knew good batting lineup, but then the question mark over South Africa would be, these guys when they come in Indian conditions now will be a hit and a miss. But today, with the way that they've played, and this is in continuation of what they did to Australia in that series back home. So that time you said no, because these are home conditions, they know true bounce, pitches.
Those are also very flat tracks.
Yeah,
they were.
But then you said that as soon as you get to Indian tracks, even though they are flat, they're slightly different. So you have to make an adjustment to the pace of the pitch. You thought that these guys will not be successful, and there is good enough reason for you to believe like that, because they've always done it. But the fact that they played like that, do you now feel that, man, they're the real deal? They are the real.
Their batting, as I say, always I was convinced by. What really worries me with them is their bowling. Without Nokia, it does look significantly weaker. Because if you look at who they're like first pacers, if you're talking about, you'd have Rabada, no problem. He's been hit or miss in recent times, but the guy's quality. Jansen,
Ngidi also.
Ngidi, I'm getting to the problems, and he's one of them.
Exactly.
And Gerald Coetzee. What they are is they're both Sharduls. They will get you wickets
Especially Ngidi. Especially Ngidi.
I'm a fan of the guy. I like him a lot. I'm the only one who's backed him here. But both of them have that same problem in the sense that they will in fact, leak runs, but they'll get you wickets. But the problem is then what happens when this is not a Sri Lanka at the other end, but it's in Australia or in England.
Or in India.
Then, yes, or in India. Then it's a problem.
And also look at it.
दिल से आवाज आनी चाहिए.
नहीं आती इसकी आवाज.
Let's go with
England आती है.
let's go with the match in hand. Even right now, them to be taken to the cleaners by Rajita and the Sri Lankan
and an out of form Dasun Shanaka.
They've helped to come back to form. Yeah, in many ways.
Exactly.
The fact that it took so long to get those last 4 wickets.
Spoke volumes.
So that's a cause of worry. I think they'll be a very good chasing side, as is the case with some other teams as well.
Today they batted first.
Yeah, that's one, but that won't always be the case when they'll face quality bowling as well. This is also Sri Lanka, which is depleted right now. Let's not forget. But
so you're thinking we're like kind of jumping the gun and getting excited about South Africa. You'd still want to wait on them.
Yeah,
because I've learned nothing new. I know their batting is explosive. Again, if you
I've learned something new. I knew their batting was explosive, but I always had doubt in Indian conditions. Today, what they've shown me is they can be the real deal here as well.
Exactly.
They've come
That's
prepared.
True.
Now, I am kind of now regretting. Should have I moved South Africa out of my?
See, this is without Tikshana.
The problem with South Africa is Tikshana would have done nothing in these conditions.
You never know.
No, not this. This is not these conditions.
What if he also has a reverse carom now?
Who knows? He could. Who knows? But no, again, I think the other problem with South Africa also is their spinners don't inspire me with that much confidence.
Maharaj
can also be hit or miss. No, I like him. He's good. But can be hit or miss. Even today he was pretty erratic.
They have like Markram chipping in. Markram can be good.
Markram can be good. He's like...
He bowled with a new ball in T20 cricket sometime.
Yeah, in the SA20 if I'm not wrong.
Or even IPL if I'm not mistaken. He's bowled with a new ball. So... I mean, I don't know. It looks like a good team, and I think they've sent warning signals to every team out there that we're there. So long as they don't again shoot themselves in the foot, which they often do. I think, I think they'd be a team to. But it's already turning out to be a good World Cup. Huh? Like now
for the batters.
No, but good World Cup in the sense you think it'll be a competitive one, because your teams are showing you, like New Zealand. Showing you they're the real deal. South Africa today are showing you the real deal. I'm not counting the top 3 for everyone that you speak to, which is Australia, England, India. They are. But now 2 other teams have told you that, listen, we're there, and possibly if both of them can sneak in, then one of your top 3, which you predicted for top 4, goes out.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that wouldn't be far-fetched as of now, after having seen both South Africa and New Zealand. So all I'm saying is it's making the tournament interesting. We still haven't seen Pakistan. We may be, kind of writing them off. You never know. You have to see. So it could turn out to be a nail biter of a finish.
I have a prediction to make. I think you're seeing this record World Cup total being broken all over again
in this World Cup.
Quite possible.
Good call. Quite possible.
Again, I'm just.
You think somebody will go past 428? Yeah, if it happens.
England, Australia.
England.
I am going by what happened in Ahmedabad
or South Africa.
Or actually South Africa.
Yeah. But I don't think it'll be India, let's say, breaking that.
India is not the. Yeah, I agree.
Fearless. South Africa could do it all over again. I think Australia definitely have the might to do it.
Yeah.
England
too. Yeah. Yes. England too.
India is a 300 plus team.
350.
But the strength for India is that compared to some of these teams that we spoke about, which I'd get 400 on certain days, they can fall well short. Whereas India seems like more often than not they will go past 300.
True.
Like if they just get a decent sort of an outing also, they'll go past 300. Yeah. So they'll go past 300 more consistently than any other team.
Yeah.
But the chances of them going past 400 will be as less as, maybe Sri Lanka or somebody like that. And chances of England, Australia, South Africa going past 400 would be much higher.
I think, like you say, for Pakistan, that anything between 250 290 is well within their grasp. Let's say in a chase.
Or 310 on
for India.
days.
Let's say if it's in the bracket of 280 90 to let's say about 350. I think India don't panic usually. Anything beyond that, I think some panic buttons will also be present in the Indian camp.
True. That's but see what will happen is, and that's why I say that India is good in that sense, because your range will be around that much. See, these are a rare.
Not every match is going 420.
It's not, especially when now you're playing the first match, so slightly less pressure because there's no qualification as such.
Yeah.
When you start reaching that stage where every result is going to be important, that's where then big totals go away. When pressure comes in, then that 280 also becomes tough. That is what changes the so which is why I'm saying that India, because of their consistency to go past 300 on most days, it will serve them well in a long tournament.
Yeah,
They
as the
have a
tournament
loss
wears.
of-
And don't forget, whatever people are saying, you don't quite know what kind of conditions you'll encounter. First time you're holding a World Cup this time, you might see some of the pitches tire out.
Luckily, not too much dew that teams have been complaining so far.
So
They have
far.
been, I mean, Delhi would have got some tonight, but not something that's ringing alarm bells.
Maybe
right
we
now.
will see that, let's say, in the third week of the World Cup, when you're looking at October end, that'll be a tricky phase.
Like
I
today
think, in
when
the
we
World
went
Cup.
to the some morning we had an early
It
start.
has started getting.
Yeah, no, it was wet.
Yeah.
It was wet early start that we had today in Delhi, so it was really wet. Which means dew did come. I don't know whether it came earlier or came much
Or
later at
overnight.
night or exactly. We don't know the time. That also depends. But it's telling you that dew is setting in, so it'll get worse as it goes
But
on.
interesting thoughts, because again, lot of and since we're talking about or just touching upon India's match as well, I see conflicting opinions sort of coming, because I was listening to Suresh Rai now, and on our show he said that you expect dew at this point of the year as well in Chennai. He said that, but again there are those who believe that possibly, because last time around when you played the World Cup, it was March, April. Those are different conditions. Right now he feels there is dew, but some people still feel that dew won't be a factor.
No, but then that was not a perfect science, right? Nobody can predict.
Yeah.
But also I was reading that they're going to be using this chemical which helps keep
Yeah,
the
I
dew
think that's
away.
going to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
there is.
it has been. They use it even during the IPL sometimes.
Yeah.
Wax or something.
It is, I don't know, it's some sort of chemical
Yeah.
that they spray on the
I'm just
grass.
kidding.
No, it does,
Yeah.
and it kind of helps keep the dew away. So
and
it is a thing.
aids the batters much more in some way, because most things just work against bowlers.
So, I mean, to be fair, if the dew is there, then batters are.
No, if that chemical,
Oh, the chemical.
who knows how the chemical, what it does to the ball.
So long as it, because players now saliva is not used, so I hope they're not getting the chemical in their mouths and getting sick.
Or is it there?
Getting intoxicated in the middle of the
Yeah.
match. You have no idea
Who
why.
knows what is happening? Yeah, somebody's like can't hold the catch, and maybe that explains the.
Maybe that explains why South Africa was so bad today.
Yeah, not holding the catches. Yes, Shivam.
So can I add up one element?
Yes, please add.
Today, my one mate, LSG mate, Contender, scored a century, and another is still stuck with this.
Okay, so Shivam wants us to check out. Why don't you cut it full frame? You can show it. He's showing it something on social media that today in Dharamshala, that game that happened between Bangladesh and Afghanistan, Naveen ul Haq, when he was fielding on the boundary line, there were chants of Kohli, 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 which is not surprising.
Not at all.
Had to happen. When it could have happened to Gautam Gambhir, it surely was going to happen to.
But you know what's common with both of them? They both are fiery characters, let's put it that way.
And they're the same team also.
Yeah, exactly.
Lucknow
They get along so well.
Is this right?
I think.
Is it right? Why? See, okay.
I think it's unsavory.
No, so okay. One second.
We have host over.
One second. Shivam says, and is a question, and maybe all of you who are watching us can also comment. They've seen the visual.
Yes.
They know what is happening. Naveen will look, okay. Now it's a question of whether it's right or wrong. My point is, if you're going to go all saintly in this, okay, and point out that we are the host and we have to. Now that does not happen anywhere in the world. Sports fans do not think like that. Sports fan come to, of course, enjoy the sport, but also to support their team and
Mischief.
yeah, no mischief, no.
This is banter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not banter.
And
It's
put
just
pressure.
This is riling up.
Yeah, but that's what
banter.
their
It
job
is- it
is.
is part.
My point is, as a professional sports person, it is part of your profile. You have to take it. Why is it that it's said that you carry headphones, you carry this? Everywhere you go, you're going to get fans who will try and intimidate you. You're trying to tell me, you're talking about this hostility. Ask a footballer who plays in a rival club's home ground what he's subjected to. Like, it's worse. But they have found a way to shut that noise and concentrate and play. And that is something that these players have to. And I'm sure it's not the first time that Naveen ul Haq is encountering this. We are seeing this visual because it happened in the ground. I'm sure when he's walking sometime at the airport, he's at a hotel, there could be guys screaming when, getting off like a team bus, and there are 300 people watching you. Sure, 3 people will scream that. You got to learn. You put on your headphones, go, or you try and ignore. The moment you start indulging with the crowd,
They're just
you've
gonna-
lost.
Yeah.
You've lost the battle. You have to find, this is a part and parcel of a professional sports person's life. And I'm sure he's used to it.
And I'll add, I'm okay with any kind of crowd engagement as long as it doesn't cross a line which is disrespectful. Or disrespectful or better yet, abusive. This is neither.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Smith was hearing the chants. We saw you cry on the telly.
Exactly. That was way.
And they sing songs. They sing songs about it.
And this, by the way, comes from English fans
that.
who are used to going to football stadiums and chanting stuff like that on a weekly basis.
Exactly.
I mean, I witnessed a game, which is a football game, and that was, in the sense, that was a Glasgow Celtics versus Rangers game, and so they have this rivalry, and it's based on religious lines. And at that moment, I did when I was there, see certain comments which were based or against a person's religion, right? Comments.
So religious slurs.
Yes, that I have a problem.
Not even necessarily slurs, they're very subtle about it. So again, with Rangers Celtic, the divide comes where it's Catholics or Irish Catholics and Protestants. So you'll hear stuff about certain groups and whatnot.
Like there'll be anti-pope chants and stuff like that because they do not. Exactly.
My only problem with this
that I have
nobody knows the whole story yet, and there's so many versions to it with regards to who gestured what happened first. With the Virat Kohli Naveen Ulhaq
I'm not even getting into that.
I'm just saying, so which is why I have a problem with what happened at Dharamshala. Nobody knows what's really happened.
I'm not getting the point. They are not here to pass a judgment as to who's I agree with you.
They just want to have fun.
Exactly. It's like, for example, sometimes that's not even that. Let's say, you're a footballer who's, let's say, made a comment about Ronaldo. Okay? Never even had an incident, but you made a comment about Ronaldo. It's very common if you go there, they will make the Ronaldo celebration and talk about it just to rile you up because you said it once. So there's no judgment here as to whether who was right in that fight. Nobody's getting into it. Even assuming there was enough proof to say that Naveen Ulhaq was not responsible and it was Virat's fault, even then do you think crowds wouldn't have said it? They would still go on, because anything which has happened, which is being controversial, the names go to. So there's no judgment on whether Naveen Ulhaq was right.
This is a moral court, basically.
Exactly. It's not a moral court at all. It's not that. Crowds will find any weak point
to get at you.
Yeah.
And Naveen has indulged them so many times. So many times. The sweet
I feel we can do better.
No, but
we don't owe it.
I agree. See,
we don't owe it.
This is what I'm saying is, if I'm going with my kid, I will teach my kid not to behave like that. Right? That is something that I can tell as a parent to my child. But if I'm a player and I'm on the ground and this is being said, that will not surprise me. And I'm not going to go about saying, oh, why is this happening? This is unfair. You guys are the host of the worst crowd. No. This is part and parcel of a sports person's life. I'd have to get used to it. So depending from where you're seeing it, and again, so long as it's Kohli, I think it's fine.
He's not being abused. This is just just a little bit of needling.
It was racist slurs or slurs.
And by the way, you're thinking it'll be bad now.
Delhi.
Exactly.
I was going to that.
No, but Kohli has fans everywhere, so it's not.
No, but here it's even though he doesn't stay here anymore, like it's his backyard.
Yeah, but there are other opinions, like Anit Sadhu, right? He's saying disgusting behavior by Indian crowd.
Yeah.
Anit and I will be in the minority here, but it's
no,
fine.
a lot of people.
I am again, and I'm not, in the sense, trying to put a carpet not condoning it, not trying to ignore it. I'm saying yes, this is a thing. Ideally, you wouldn't want crowds to do it, but you will never be in an ideal world. You're never going to be in a situation where everyone's going to be goody two shoes and let's be at a best behavior. It's not the Lord's balcony, for God's sake, where all the members are going to come and just clap like that.
And by the way, Lord's balcony also is nosedive considerably after the game.
Yeah, exactly. It even happened there now.
Yeah.
So,
how do you
these
explain
guys are lesser mortal compared to that. Like those people in their official NCC ties and suits
who pay like thousands of pounds as membership fees,
and would always be seen, no matter how big a record, will never be seen screaming. It'll be like those gentle, polite.
While sipping on their tea and having their crumpets.
Those kind of people also got involved.
Yeah.
And you expect these people not. So it's not an ideal world. It'll happen. And I'm sure, can I tell you, if you to ask this to Naveen Ulhaq, even if they said, I know this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I take it in my stride, bring it on.
It kind of also helps his popularity.
Or infamousness, let's say. Yeah.
It makes him he is now, let's say, that notorious character from that Afghanistan.
He's always been notorious.
So people
it
like
came
that.
to attention. It came to
in the
attention
IPL,
in the IPL.
Yeah.
But he's had fights with
PSL,
all and sundry.
with
This
Shaheen.
man can start a fight in an empty room.
Shivam ji.
Those won't be part of 15 and what are luck यार.
क्या?
आ गया कोहली के वो चांट लेने के लिए. 15 का पार्ट नहीं था.
He wasn't originally part of this thing.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he won't be taking Kohli chance for too long. He's retiring also.
He's retiring also. Yeah.
Imagine.
From ODIs, I may
He'll
add.
play T20.
He's retiring from ODIs.
IPL.
It's surprising.
Yeah.
He won't
Surprising.
have, then in T20s he won't have to hear it for long.
No, but it's surprising. Why do off spinners need workload management? I had to.
He's a medium pacer.
विराट आगे खुद ही बोले यार छोड़ दो उसका पीछे.
It can happen.
No, won't happen.
Virat did it for Steve Smith.
Yeah, but him and Steve Smith actually had a good relationship. Here it's
No, so Shane says no. Virat will not come and appeal to people.
not
Never
yet.
know. Could.
No, could happen.
No.
But it seems unlikelier in this case.
See, Smith
Virat fan. Will he appeal to people?
Enough said.
He won't. Acha, good point by GGK. He says, because I was talking about South Africa top 4, he said, do not take South Africa in top 4 because South Africa is the RCB of, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
RCB of international cricket. They will mess up later.
To be fair, RCB,
Very
I think
mean.
RCB took
Very mean.
inspiration from them. Because South Africa have been doing it long before RCB were even a
and they
thing.
go start getting their players.
So ideally you should say RCB is the South Africa
of IPL, correct. It's the other way around, but point well taken. Also, the first, if I'm not wrong, the first ever RCB team had quite a few South Africans.
Yeah.
Mark Boucher, Jacques Callis. I can't say much about Callis, man won 2 IPLs with us. But yeah.
Yeah.
Dale Steyn,
Yes.
a lot of South Africans.
Later on ABD.
I've said.
But that's a mean comment, GGK. Okay, Dex says that Aiden Markram is a combination of Ricky Ponting with that front press and back lift and Shane Watson with those pulls.
Wow.
Oh boy, man.
What a
Even Aiden
combination
Markram
to
won't agree
be.
with that.
Yeah, I don't think he'll agree. He's like, no, yeah, please bring me down. Don't put me up in that.
But
press."
I mean, let's be fair, Markram, really good batsman
good.
and has been in good form for about a couple of years now. Don't forget, he led SRH Eastern Cape to the maiden SA20 title.
Oh, is
also.
it?
Yeah. He first won.
I saw him in this SRH, where he did not lead them to any title.
Anything. Where in fact, I dare say he was outshone with the bat by Klaasen. Klaasen actually had a couple of good performances.
Yeah.
Class and impress.
And I was talking about South Africa. Isn't Van der Dusen also part of SRH? Didn't get to play, if I'm not mistaken. Was he?
May have been.
I have a feeling.
CSK.
No, not CSK.
No.
This year I think he's right. It may have been SRH.
Van der Dusen SRH, see? Full team is there, boss.
So actually you've had 4 players who played for SRH in some capacity if you include Temba. He played for SRH Eastern Cape. He was a replacement player.
Vibhor is saying we might need Surya on these type of batting tracks. Actually, you don't, because in these kind of batting tracks,
India flourished.
yeah, anybody.
It through the line.
Surya you need on places where you think you can't reach 300 and he'll do something out of the ordinary and take it. On these pitches, you don't, right?
But I think Shubham Garg makes a good point where he says that before we actually judge such pitches, you need to look at the kind of bowling attack that Sri Lanka had today.
Yeah, but
They were not really very good.
I agree, but it's not that bad a bowling attack. And also, I tell you, nobody is judging this track for a 400 track, which in fact, if you saw it, we said it's a rare thing. It will not happen.
Exactly.
But all I'm saying is this is even Sri Lanka, now judge Sri Lanka's batting with a much decent bowling attack of South Africa, also got to 300 plus.
Exactly.
So I'm judging the track that it's a good 300 plus track. Who said that 400 would be scored in every game? No, not at all.
Gonna happen. Not gonna
You
happen.
mentioned that's a rare thing. All I'm saying is a fantastic batting track, and even Sri Lanka, despite having a batting collapse at the start, gets you 300 plus. So imagine if they don't, even Sri Lanka, which is not the strongest batting unit in this World Cup, will get you 350. So that in itself tells you it's a great batting track.
True that.
GGK
Says the World Cup will see most hundreds ever. Feel Rohit will score few 200s and score
Pushing
1000 plus runs. Come on, 1000 plus runs in this World Cup. Come on.
Yeah, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
Pushing.
Rohit has only hit, by the way, 300s in the build-up to the World Cup since the last World Cup.
In which he scored 5, didn't he?
Yeah.
There,
he scored
exactly.
5.
And then in the next 4 years, just 3, until he got one very recently.
Plus, I think recently he's been more focused on intent. He's not looking to build his innings though.
Plus, if you look at not too many ODIs also he must have played.
True. No, of course.
India was
But 23, 24. that's it.
In fact, I think even Rahul Dravid was saying in the press conference, he's saying, I doubt we'll reach that point now where we played as many ODIs in the 2015 to 19 cycle. He's saying T20s nowadays is the money ticket.
Agreed. Last couple of questions, okay. Cricket is religion says what a carnage. England going out and South Africa into the top 4. See,
After
I
one
was
match?
telling you.
One match.
I was telling you, but all I'm saying is that this will keep happening now. This is the World Cup.
Yeah.
This is premature.
No, I agree, but all I'm saying is it makes the World Cup exciting.
True.
That you will keep
Yeah.
changing your top 4 rather than just this is it, pretty much done, which is interesting. So Akash is asking, guys, who is your favorite poster boy outside India? AB, Kevin Peterson.
That's for him. I'll add Gale to that list.
But poster boy would be like in what, sir?
A ticket puller who would come to India and people would.
Someone like a Virat.
Okay.
But from
a big ticket player, right? Yeah, okay.
I would add.
Could be Babar
Put
also.
bums on the seat, right?
I'd add Chris Gale to that list.
Gale is there, no?
No, he's mentioned AB and KP.
Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes, no,
I don't know how many people turn up.
no. He's more of a traditional
But
cricket
I
player.
always feel that the
Steve Smith.
old guys were like that. Like I think the old Pakistan team like of Waqar, Wasim would be that kind of team. That
Yeah.
people
For that matter,
buy
even Inzi,
tickets
right?
Shoaib
to go
Akhtar.
watch. More than Inzi, but yeah, but to watch Wasim, Waqar, Shoaib together, I'd buy a ticket.
Beautiful.
I'd buy a ticket, right? And for some reason, fast bowling like is always exciting to watch. Viv Richards, of course.
Yeah.
You'd go to, Betley, yeah, but I'm just saying the whole combination.
You really can't think of any
I will
a
go
lot
with.
in the current generation, can you?
True, you can't.
Not very.
For any player that I buy a ticket, AB, yes. AB would have been the last
Yeah.
of those. Gale to an extent,
Yeah.
crowd puller.
Even Peterson, I think he was radical for his time.
He was, but I don't know, maybe not, I wouldn't put
He
him.
was far too controversial.
Also, yeah, not like an AB, like,
No, he's not that level.
Sky is a guy like that now. In T20 cricket, I'm sure people
For
know.
IPLs, yes.
Yeah, like you're
Undoubtedly.
going to watch. And Virat is, of course, that guy now. People will, and people do go to watch Virat.
And Rohit, let's mention the
No,
twins
but
team
Virat, you may like it or not, but the reality is that the kind of crowd puller that he is, in Indian cricket, nobody
Next
comes
level.
close.
Yeah.
Nobody comes close. He's by himself. I mean, there was a time that Lara could be that guy that you'd go to watch. Brian Lara.
So Shoaib Akhtar also maybe.
But I didn't
We
mention
did
him.
say that.
Yeah.
He always forgets. He did mention it.
Okay.
Rashid Khan or Usman.
Rashid,
Rashid is an
puller.
interesting call, but
Rashid's a crowd puller around the world, maybe not so much India. He's someone who does get a lot of
interesting call
fascination.
that you will go. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's something unique.
Outside of India.
Yeah.
No, he's saying outside of India, he means player outside.
Player
of India,
outside of
not
India.
necessarily.
Not an Indian player.
Not an Indian player.
That's what.
No, I'm saying.
No, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, actually, we're saying more or less the same thing. I get your point. Well taken.
हो गया सबका.
That's a sign. It's been a long day. Been a long day, which means we will say bye bye. Save our energy for tomorrow.
Big match.
Find
Big,
love
my
energy
God.
tomorrow.
Yes, so
No, I'm excited about tomorrow.
we have a few
Achha,
super
okay. Couple
chats.
of Singularity is saying, why not make non-India weekday games cheap as chips? Good point.
Good point, indeed. Instead of releasing and re-releasing and then re-releasing.
Yeah, tickets have been released, 14,000 of them.
No one's buying them. No,
No,
people are
apparently
buying
everyone's
them,
bought them.
but
Apparently.
no one's
Once
going
before,
to see the
no?
games. So it's just
Everyone will see India. That will be a packed house.
That will be a packed house for sure.
India Pakistan, of course. But ये क्या हो रहा है?
Yeah, today was a good crowd though.
Was it?
Decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the second half, the crowd built up.
Yeah. Weekend. See, we were expecting
Yeah,
this.
Absolutely.
Maybe देख लिया होगा 400 score. Let's go watch.
Of
Yeah.
course, that always helps. Always helps.
Why not?
But I do agree with his point that actually
Yeah.
you can maybe look to bring in school kids or something to kind of, because again, ODIs is very much a format that is in limbo.
Yeah. True.
Wouldn't be the worst idea to get some people in.
I volunteer to go.
Really?
Yeah.
50 hours.
Yeah, why not?
It's always fun to watch games.
No, in crowd is always a different experience.
Yeah.
Chennai is also.
Chennai said?
For a
Okay.
second, I thought you said Shenbhai is also.
Thank you.
What happened there?
Thank you for that.
Watch this report. Crowd for support.
We watched it.
अरे यार, there's
Shivam
a.
really needs
He means.
Yeah.
a tease. So why you play? Please watch a report from Australia. Australia. On
Chennai.
India versus
Everyone's at the moment now.
India versus Australia that Rahul has done from ground zero. So
It is
watch
up.
that. it is up as to what might happen in the game.
He's also told you about the rain aspect of things as well for tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll watch that. And now please, Shivam, do not say a word more.
Bus.
5 times I've decided to rap, but he has come up with something.
Okay, sir.
Bye. Good night.